Hi, I'm DJ Rossstar, and when I'm not hosting DJ Rossstar's punk rock show, I'm hanging out here on PGTV.
Hey guys, it's Shaina with DJ Rossstar.
Welcome to my apartment.
Thank you. So we hear you're a big Green Day fan.
That's true. I'm going to see him tomorrow night in San Diego and Tuesday night in Los Angeles.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Yes, we're making the drive out there.
Cool. So we were just curious, did they have any impact on you starting this show?
Absolutely. When I first got into Green Day, I was in middle school, and I was the awkward kid. I didn't know how to talk to girls. I didn't know a lot of things. And somewhere around high school, as Insomnia came out, Nimrod Morning, Green Day's lyrics encouraged me to be proud of who I was. And there's my Green Day phone ringer. Okay. So, as I was saying, the more I got into Green Day and the more I got into their lyrics, I began to realize that I should be proud to be an individual and not be embarrassed. Just because I don't listen to the same music as everybody, I don't wear the same clothes as everybody, doesn't mean I have to feel bad about myself.
Exactly.
And same thing with the show. I always wanted to do a show where I could interview artists. And everybody told me I couldn't do it. My parents said it was a waste of time. All my friends at college. And I did it because I wanted to. Right. And a lot of people out there, unfortunately, don't do things because people around them convince them not to. And Green Day's music has always encouraged me to be an individual and stand up for what I believe in.
Oh, that's really cool.
To this very day. Yeah.
Cool.
It's awesome.
So they really did have a big impact
Yeah,
on you.
I'm glad I found that. A lot of people go through life and they don't have that thing to hold on to. I mean, some people have religion, some people have music,
Right.
some people have art. So Green Day is my thing. And
really
it's
cool.
been that way for 16 years now.
Good. Well, also I've heard some people comment like, oh, his show's kind of like Wayne's World. About that, what do you have to say about that?
I'm happy that people still know what Wayne's World is. Most of my viewers are like 13 years old. It's from before their time.
Really?
I don't know if I necessarily got the idea from Wayne's World, but it is very similar. I mean, they were in their basement in Aurora.
Right.
They were on local access because there was no internet back then. But the interview style is very similar.
Right.
The show is funny, my show, but it's not a joke.
Right.
I take my interviewing very seriously, but we also have a good time. Nobody wants to watch a show on the internet where it's very straight-laced and they're asking the same questions they're going to see on MTV.
Right.
Why would you want to watch another interview that asks the same exact things? This is a show where anyone at home can ask anything they want, and that's what we do every Wednesday and Thursday night. Party on. Swing.
Anyways, did Rossstar go as you planned?
Rosstock went better than I planned.
Yeah?
We got the venue, the Roller Dome, and Cheryl and Nate went to check it out ahead of time, part of my team, and I had never seen the Dome, and their website doesn't give you a very good idea of what it looks like.
Right.
It looks like an ice rink. I loved it. I mean, I couldn't believe we had the whole ring to ourselves. There were strobe lights and a fog machine. We had the crunk bar, free Guitar Hero competition, tons of love sacks, a lot of tables to sit at, a huge stage. It was cool. The second I walked in, I said, "Are you sure this is the right place? This looks like a really serious concert."
Yeah.
And it was, and we had a lot of fun, and Sonny had a good time, and he's ready to do Rosstock too.
Right. So there is going to be a Rosstock next year?
I don't know, I just made that up. I hope so. It went pretty well. We'd like to...
maybe sooner.
Yeah, we'd like to plan one and have more time to promote it,
Right.
and try to work on getting bigger artists to play, which of course we love Teen Hearts and the artists that played. We want to get... next time we want to get all new artists.
Right.
I want every Rosstock to have a completely different roster of performances.
So then how did you choose the bands that you had at Rosstock?
Well, She Screams Remedy in particular, they came here 2 weeks ago to do my show. I had booked them because I heard them on K-Rock on the Locals Only, and I said, this band sounds great. And they came here and played acoustic and blew me away. And right then on the spot, I said, will you play Rosstock? And they said yes. Teen Hearts, they've been on the show twice. They were over here recently too, and we talked about doing the show, and they jumped on board. A lot of artists who have done the show who are local really wanted to play, but their schedules conflicted. We were going to have I Am Ghost, but they couldn't make it. My friends in Civet, they were out of town. There are a lot of good local talent out here, and a lot of artists that we gave them their first interviews before they were ever on radio or TV, and so they were willing to come back and just help out, but time didn't permit.
So
we didn't get any no's, which was great.
that's really good. Speaking of first interviews, who was yours?
My first interview was, it's coming up. It was September 18th, 2002. It was the band Yeah, you were like playing with Furbies. It was the band Homegrown on Drive Thru Records, and Homegrown were a pretty big deal at the time. They were on tour with Mess. They were playing, mid-sized venues, and they came to do my show because I convinced Drive Thru Records that I was the real deal.
Right.
And so we did our first interview together, and it went over pretty well. And the second interview was a band called Over It, who are now known as Runner Runner. And then from there, it just kept growing. Even back in college in D.C., I had Vanilla Ice on the show. Andrew W.K. came by the studio. A lot of cool guests.
Well, yeah, I had my first interviews at Rossstar. I had Sunny Moore and Monster Eats the Pilot, which, by the way, I have the freaking Odd Couple theme stuck in my head. Thank you, Monster Eats the Pilot. Any song stuck in your head right now?
Yeah, it's a song by a little-known band called Horse the Band. The song is called Cutsman. It's about Cutman, the character from Mega Man, the video game. And I don't listen to that band, but I keep having the same part of the song where it's like I guess because the band that was over screams. The part where he just yells scissors on his fucking head, scissors on his fucking head.
Oh my gosh.
That keeps playing in my head.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we were just wondering, so what's a typical day in your life?
Every day is different, really.
Yeah?
But I've been doing a lot of local traveling. I've been hyping this up so much on my show. When I'm not going to concerts or doing the show or anything involving the show, whether it be meetings with people in the music or TV world, I'm traveling. I'm going to museums, gardens, wineries, theme parks, beaches, landmarks, castles. Southern California has everything. And I've been blogging about it on djrossstar.tumblr.com. Every exit off the freeway out here is something to discover. And sometimes I'll just go walk around the neighborhood over here in Culver City. I'll just walk and I see where I end up.
You find something.
That's what I do when I'm not doing the show. I'm traveling locally, I call it. It's a lot of fun.
Cool. Anyways, before we end, do you have anything new coming up or anything you want to share?
Yeah, let's keep talking. You came all this way in traffic. The show, the viewers are growing every week, which is cool because for a year or two, I was having such big artists on the show, but it was literally the same people every week coming back, and every week now we're getting hundreds and upon hundreds of new viewers every week that haven't seen the show before. The past few weeks in particular, we've been hitting 15, 16, 17,000 live views.
Awesome.
The punkrockshow.com, all of our old videos are getting tons of hits, and that's a really cool new feature where you can actually go back finally and watch all of our old shows.
Right.
Coming up, we're just going to keep doing it every Wednesday and Thursday. I've got my column in Substream Magazine, which is an FYE in Barnes & Nobles. I host Havoc on DirecTV every Thursday night from midnight till 4 a.m. Pacific time. And we're just seeing where it takes us. I mean, I've been saying forever that TV and or radio need a show like this, where the host genuinely cares about the artist that they're interviewing. I can't tell you how many shows are coming out daily where the host can care less. They're just doing it because it's a gig.
Right.
I really care so much about this music scene, and I know that TV is ready for this kind of show, and the interaction is perfect for what they want. They're really trying to get into the whole internet world, and we've been doing it for 7 years, pre-YouTube, pre-MySpace, pre-everything. So if anyone's at the forefront of internet broadcasting, it should be me. So hopefully that'll be in the near future. We'll get something on TV, whether it's a segment or a guest spot or a show. Something, that's what we're going for. And in the meantime, we're going to keep doing this show online. Hopefully I won't get too old for it. When I turn 30, they might think it's kind of pushing it.
No.
But for now, we're okay. So, and you're watching it too, which means a lot. So thank you for watching this interview. You can go to thepunkrockshow.com and see all of my past interviews from at least 3 or 4 months back.
Right.
And come say hi to me at a show. I'll be at Warped Tour. I'm always at Bamboozle. And I can't tell you how many times I go to a show and I see people looking at me, no one says a word. And then they tweet me on Twitter saying, I saw you at the show, I didn't want to bother you. You're really not bothering me. Most of the time I'm bored anyway when the bands aren't playing. So come up and talk. Let's talk music.